To see in this room today is going to be mined here by hand at Ron Coleman Mining, minus these two. Now these two are from Chile. Now these are cut and polished quartz that look like the crystal points we are pulling out of the ground naturally. We do not cut or polish any of our crystal points here. What you see is how we pulled it out of the ground. Now we might take and buzz some of that sandstone matrix rocks off the bottom of this to get a nice flat presentation piece out of this, but that's it. What you see is what you get. Now you can see we got some fish fossils up there, don't you? We got them around the room as we get going. Those are from the Green River in Wyoming. That is limestone. They are solidified in up there. And what's really cool about these, if we were a big party walking around the Green River looking for fossils and we come across this thing, we got on each side of this thing and picked it up. There's going to be a separate slab directly underneath that with a separate set of fish. It's going to go like that all the way through that limestone, slab by different set of fish by different set of fish. Could be 10 feet deep down in the earth. Now for you fossil collectors out there, you can still go to this Green River in Wyoming, walk that riverbed and pick stuff like this up. So if you're ever in the area, it could be a future destination choice. Sticking with fossils, we see that large snail-like creature right there. They're up there. There's one back there as well. Those are ammonites. And these long, slender, squid-like creatures, oftentimes fossilized with them, are orthoceras. Now we don't know too much about either of these guys because they were around the time of dinosaurs and also went extinct with them. But we know we find ammonite fossils out there as big as you and I, and we know how these orthoceras would move around. What they would do is puff themselves up full of water, and when they were ready to take off, they would constrict their bodies, expelling that water out one way, kind of like a jet, and they would torpedo around where they went. Now these guys were rather plentiful during their time, so I bet if you could have been around and seen a big old school of them, probably a pretty lively place, possibly terrifying if you're out in the ocean swimming around. All right, let's talk volcanoes for a second. This large one on the floor here is obsidian. This is volcanic glass. Now, for all my Minecraft fans out there, if I got any, we all know what this is. I get told on the daily by the youngins that they put this in their Minecraft game. For a little older, maybe Game of Thrones fans, yeah, this is the dragon's glass. This kills White Walkers. So, this has been cut and polished down to this egg shape from a much larger chunk. Believe me when I say, I can wiggle this bad boy a little bit, but I'm not going to pick it up and carry it anywhere. It's about 500 pounds worth. It's completely solid. Sticking with volcanoes, this large purple one over here is an amethyst cathedral. Now, a lot of times you're going to see amethyst associated with this kind of almost stalactite looking kind of formation. And the reason why is this is an ancient volcanic tube. Now picture this thing flipped upside down, shoved in the ground. That is the way they will find this. That lava rolled up this outer layer and touched it, burned it. Give you that crispy kind of crunchy look right there. But that gives you the right pressures, heats, and conditions on the inside of this to grow silicon dioxide quartz crystals. Those ones, same as those right there. Now the only thing that causes that purple coloring on the inside of there is just a little bit of iron and aluminum out of that silicon dioxide solution. All right. Shiny guy here is labradorite. Labradorite gets its name from where it's first mined at in Labrador, Canada. Native Americans there were the first ones known to mine this stuff, and they believe that the northern lights were caught in there. So that's what they were doing, mining it from the ground, trying to free the northern lights back in the sky. Not so sure how that one worked out for them, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad they did. Because they still mine to today in Labrador, Canada, and several other places around the world as well. Madagascar supplies a lot of that stuff. All right, we can get moving around a little bit. That is phantom calcite from Mexico. You got a pretty large Coleman point right here. Check out fluorite on your way through. Two completely different natural sides of this thing. You see the edges have been cut and polished to show you all those pretty colors in there. We got several petrified wood slabs up on the wall. All of our petrified wood in here comes from California, Arizona, and Oregon. That chunk there is from Oregon. And, well, I love this stuff. This was a tree. It died a long time ago and fell over in the water, got covered up with the silt and sediment that was on the bottom, and began to decompose. Now, the void left from that decomposition was filled with the minerals that were from the surrounding water that leached in, and they solidified that way. And here you go. There's not a lick of wood whatsoever left into those things. And if you know what you're looking at, you can tell by the coloring on one of these things what region they come from, because different regions have different minerals in their water. Different minerals cause those things to turn different colors. Now, for example, Oregon, Arizona. Cool, huh? All right, you are in a, I would be very careful touching anything on there. Yeah, I wouldn't be touching too much around here, especially not if you don't see me touching first, especially not that guy right there. You are in a gallery. Everything in here is for sale. Minus that piece of selenite over there. Please be very careful around that. That is Coleman's favorite piece. It is not for sale. If that thing falls and breaks, I will be the first one running away from this property. So you better be faster than I am. All right, this is the most expensive one you will see here today. That is $160,000 worth of Coleman Quartz crystal cluster. Get some money in this room. All right, we have the silver sheen variety of obsidian right here. That silver look right there is millions of little air bubbles that are trapped in there. The stuff's quench cooled. Probably a water source at the base of the volcano. Yeah, pretty cool. This is Shiva lingam right here. They're from India, found in the rivers there in India. These are rolled around, kind of like our hobby tumblers do. Give you this egg-like shape. This is how they're found. You ever seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? You've seen these. They talk about these. He puts 3 of them together. They start glowing. All kinds of cool stuff happens. I only got 1, so if anybody else has 2 more about that size, bring them down. I'm always about the science. This is a large amethyst geode right here. The white ones in there are calcite crystals. Yeah, I mean, right there. That's what crystals in there.
Texas, este es como Texas, ¿no?
This one's serpentine jade right there.
Oye, esa me encanta.
This is one of my favorites right here. This is a highlight opal from Mexico. See, I got opal crystals all over this thing. They call this stuff something else though. Superman. Watch it.